This is Compulsion84 talking about the Evolve DLC shenanigans and how all your money is now theirs. So in case you haven't heard, Evolve released their DLC model recently and it's kind of troubling. So I'll just run through this. I gotta read it because it's so complicated I can't follow it. So the game's $60, which isn't bad at all. The Digital Deluxe Edition is $80, which includes a Season Pass, which is normally $25, so you technically save $5. And by pre-ordering, you get a 5th monster, which is a $15 value. So, okay, great. So the Season Pass, what does that include? So you get the 4 new hunters, 3 magma monster skins, and some other crap. And then there's a 3rd edition for the PC to make things even more complicated. That includes the PC monster race, which is all the content of the others, an additional monster for a total of 5, 2 more hunters, and 4 new skins. You know, if you want any of the DLC, either $80 or $100, just right out the gate. And this is just the DLC they've mentioned so far. They've already said they're going to put out a lot of it. I'm not super upset, but I am a little bit, troubled or worried about this. The DLC model in the game industry is just getting completely out of hand. So the pre-order bonus is a 4th monster, which is going to be $15 if you don't pre-order it, which seems really high. And I know it takes a lot to develop a game and blah 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 blah, but that's just kind of ridiculous for just a monster. So a few of the good things to not completely tear into these guys for no reason. There's not going to be any day one, on-disc DLC or anything really sketchy like that. There's going to be free maps, or so they say, coming out, and you can play with anyone who has the DLC and even see the DLC of the other hunters or the monsters, and you're not excluded in any way, shape, or form. So this all started a while ago with things like Horse Armor and Oblivion, and when Xbox Live started charging a monthly fee for essentially no benefit whatsoever. Things like this just really tick me off. I mean, it kind of blows my mind. I know DLC is the current state of the market, and some DLC is good, but I remember in the late 90s or early 2000s, you would pay $20 or $30 and get a significant amount of content with a lot to play, new characters, new expansions, maps, whatever. I don't know how many Command & Conquer expansions I bought, and I won't even complain about it because they had so much good content. But now it used to be $10 for a map pack, then it was $15. And now, who knows? You get a season pass for $50 for Call of Duty, and all you get is, what, 12 maps? 16 maps? It's getting to be completely ridiculous. I know they've got to make money, but at some point it just seems a little bit greedy, and especially coming from where gaming used to be, where you get free maps, free expansions. I mean, if they open up the gates a little bit to user-created content, I don't know how many maps and mods I used to play. I mean, I'm an old-school Counter-Strike player. Some of the best maps were free. If they would just let users make some of the maps, it's not that hard to make a map. I think it's kind of crap when a developer's like, oh, we put out a new map. So what? It's not a big deal. Everybody used to make maps when the tools were more open. It's not that big of an accomplishment. Yeah, it takes a lot to make the assets to create them, but just making a map isn't a big deal. So I'm not saying to go out and send hate mail against this developer or this game. I was interested by it. It looked like a lot of fun, but especially with something like this, I'm definitely not going to buy it day one. I mean, if I do pick it up at all, it'll be on Steam when it's on sale for 75% off. It'll probably be 2 or 3 years from now when they have the Game of the Year edition to package in all this crap. I mean, it just reminds me of Borderlands. It's a complete ripoff. I mean, I should not have to pay $100 to get a few extras. This kind of just gives me flashbacks to the Left 4 Dead sequel that came out that was essentially just DLC that should have been included or included at a low price, and they charged $50. I mean, it stunk then, and something like this stinks now. There's just got to be a point where we can reach where the consumer gets some content, the developer still gets money, but they're not just juicing us. And especially with all the DLC and the skins and everything else that's out there that's just ridiculous. I don't know how much, people spend on Call of Duty weapons skins that don't do anything. It blows my mind. I checked over mobile markets lately for tablet games. I can't even buy a game for $1 or $5 anymore. Now everything's freemium, where they're barely fun and you can't do anything until you spend a fortune. This whole model, it just really worries me. It seems to be just killing the fun, and I don't like being nickeled and dimed, and that's exactly how I feel. My advice to anybody would be, read up on it a little bit. I wouldn't pre-order it. I'm not going to give these guys any money until they put out some content. See, first off, how the game is, and second off, till the price drops. Because there's no way I'm giving anybody $100 for a game. I'm just not going to do it. So I saw this story and I got kind of annoyed. Things like this just kind of tick me off, and it's the way everything's going, and if everybody doesn't buy this and pay for it, it's not going to keep working. So I guess I would, encourage you to read up on it, make an informed purchase decision, get your money's worth. If you're not getting your money's worth, don't buy it. Don't pre-order it. Don't give them $100 for something that's clearly not worth $100. So this is the first time I've done this kind of ranting format. I'm kind of experimenting, trying to do things, having a little fun. If you like it, let me know. If you hate it, constructive criticism, please. If you're new to this channel, please take a look around, and if you like it, please subscribe.